Back in the day, landing the World Cup stood as the ultimate badge of honor for any nation, a global stage to finally declare their arrival to the world. But today, that glittering dream is rapidly shifting into a far more complex reality. It is a fiscal nightmare so overwhelming that even the world's wealthiest economies are starting to hesitate. With the jump to 48 teams, the tournament has shed its skin as a simple competition and become a massive logistical monster. Multi-billion-dollar coliseums and infrastructure projects now push entire national economies to their absolute limits. Many host cities are left drowning in debt for decades after. So we ask, has hosting the tournament become a financial blunder? Crucially, has the traditional model of one country carrying the entire burden finally come to an end? Let us break it all down. But first, if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now and smash that like button. We cover the biggest stories in global football, and you do not want to miss a single one. Now, let's get into it. The fundamental shift occurred during expansion. For generations, 32 nations provided a rhythm that felt controlled, predictable, and very manageable. But with 48 qualifying countries, the schedule ballooned into 104 matches. This is not a mere tweak. It is a tectonic shift, welcoming millions of additional supporters into a single concentrated region. It requires dozens of elite training hubs and places enormous stress on every transportation network involved. We anticipate a tourism surge that could top 6 million individual visitors all at once. Even the most advanced economies with top-tier facilities find themselves gasping for air because the requirements extend far beyond just building fancy stadiums. It demands a total overhaul of luxury hotels, airports, rail lines, mobility systems, and security coordination across every single local jurisdiction. The tragedy is that this colossal infrastructure is constructed for a single month, leading to the dreaded rise of white elephant stadiums. These are astronomical venues built exclusively for the tournament spotlight that eventually sit silent, decaying, or completely abandoned once the final whistle blows. We have watched cities pour billions into the ground, only to be left with vacant seats, crippling maintenance bills, and neighborhoods that slowly slide into decay. The 2026 tournament, shared by America, Canada, and Mexico, served as the final grand warning. It proved that even the wealthiest nations could no longer comfortably shoulder such an immense burden alone, not without splitting the heavy load. That was the turning point where everyone realized single-host nations were no longer realistic. Now, let us look toward the 2030 vision. For the first time ever, the pursuit of the trophy will not just span multiple countries. It will bridge continents, spanning hosts like Spain, Portugal, and Morocco, with celebratory matches kicking off in South America to honor the game's 100th anniversary. This represents a total reinvention of the tournament's DNA, moving away from nations, building everything from scratch to a model utilizing existing world-class infrastructure. Yet, there is a fascinating new trend emerging. Physical construction is no longer the primary hurdle. The new battleground is diplomacy. Managing borders, transit treaties, security codes, and broadcasting rights. Industry experts now refer to this as diplomatic infrastructure, where the tournament's ultimate victory hinges more on high-level political handshakes than on pouring wet concrete. Financially, this changes everything. Instead of a lone nation gambling its entire fiscal health, 6 countries now divide the burden. What once threatened to bankrupt a mid-sized economy is now safely spread across multiple sovereign governments, making cooperation an absolute unavoidable financial necessity. Perhaps the most profound evolution is not geographic, but architectural. And here is where we want to hear from you. Drop a comment below right now. Do you think modular temporary stadiums are the future of the World Cup, or does something important get lost when the permanent landmarks disappear? We want your honest take. The era of the permanent megastadium is dying out, replaced by a concept that feels radically different. Welcome to the age of modular stadium architecture. Imagine a stadium built like Lego blocks, where massive seating tiers snap together on demand. These sections can be quickly assembled, expanded for the crowds, and then completely disassembled once the final trophy is hoisted. Those components are then donated to developing leagues or smaller clubs that actually need the facilities. This finally addresses the most glaring sin in tournament history: wasteful spending. Instead of building a 60,000-seat ghost town, the infrastructure actually serves communities long after the final whistle blows. Simultaneously, the venues planned for 2030 are prioritizing the retrofitting of historical arenas. They are modernizing iconic historic stadiums to meet today's elite international standards. The goal is to maximize sustainability and dramatically slash carbon footprints by breathing new life into existing structures rather than building from the ground up. Furthermore, we are witnessing the rise of cloud hosting for fans, and it is changing the very nature of how we engage with the sport. Digital fan zones are now fully integrated, effectively reducing the pressure on physical stadium capacity. The energy stays truly global without requiring every supporter to squeeze into a physical seat to experience the moment. Teams are no longer forced into grueling travel schedules that grind down professional athletes before the biggest matches of their careers. Forget the old ways. The World Cup is pivoting toward regional hub strategies where teams remain anchored in specific zones for maximum geographic and logistical efficiency. We are slashing travel distances because it matters. Constant travel exhaustion and jet lag absolutely destroy elite athletic performance at the highest level. In a massive global spectacle, even the smallest logistical hiccup snowballs fast. Simultaneously, the foundations of urban infrastructure are evolving to anchor this bold new model. Think high-speed rail, seamless cross-border transit, and fully integrated transportation networks connecting every host city. The ultimate objective is clear: turn a collection of diverse countries into one seamless, unified host. However, this shift brings fresh headaches. FIFA must now unify complex security protocols and broadcasting requirements across multiple national borders. They must align fan regulations across radically different legal jurisdictions, and that is no small task. We have moved far past simple event management. This is now high-level international diplomacy and real-time global coordination. Where is this road taking us? If these trends hold, the future landscape of global sporting tournaments will change forever. Look at the 2034 Saudi bid. It signals a massive shift coming. Imagine purpose-built tournament cities, the entire urban districts engineered solely for mega events. These are permanent, flexible, and fully adaptable ecosystems. This seismic shift goes far beyond soccer. This blueprint could completely reinvent the Olympics and every major global event that follows. We are stepping into the joint venture era of sports, a time where nations finally collaborate, sharing the massive global infrastructure burden. Financial risk gets spread thin, and hosting becomes less about national vanity and more about long-term practicality. Here is the reality. Without these radical adjustments, the World Cup simply cannot survive in its current form. And that reality grows more urgent every day. Amidst mounting climate pressures and tightening global economic constraints, the traditional playbook is obsolete. The era of the lone wolf host is officially and finally coming to a close. It is not that nations have lost interest. They simply cannot foot the massive bill financially, logistically, or environmentally anymore. What we are witnessing today is more than a simple evolution. This is a desperate survival strategy, a total rethinking of how the biggest show on Earth can still exist in the modern world. And if 2030 finally succeeds, it will not just transform the game. It will totally rewrite how we build, share, and witness global events forever. If this breakdown hit different, smash that like button right now, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another deep dive like this one. The World Cup is evolving, and we will be right here covering every move. See you in the next one.